Just my bad. Orientation is locked. How do I do this? Oh, shoot. Man. Man. How do I turn this? Oh, no green screen. No green screen. I thought I would just rotate the phone and have this thing the other way. How does it work? Okay, short. What the hell is this? No. Interesting. Well, see? Lighting on, no. You think everything is, you have everything figured out, and then all of a sudden, you know, like anything else in life, life throws a curveball at you, right? I thought I would just be able to rotate my screen and do a horizontal live, but now this is vertical. I gotta use ChatGPT to figure this out before we get started here. My bad. Can I? Somebody smarter than me can tell me. How the hell am I do this? Can I rotate my live and switch from vertical to horizontal? YouTube. Jeez, I feel so freaking stupid. Good question, and it's a really common one among creators switching between vertical and horizontal formats on YouTube. Here's the clear answer. If you mean it during a single live stream, no, you can't rotate mid-stream on YouTube. Once you start a YouTube live, mobile or desktop, the orientation is locked for that session. If you start vertical, you stay vertical. Okay, how do I start vertical? How do I start horizontal? Oh, okay, I'm supposed to. Fuck. Okay, so here's the thing. So it locks it before I start when there's, okay, I got it. Okay, when the preview opens, then I have to rotate my phone to landscape, horizontal. Okay, my bad. Okay, so why am I here today? I haven't done lives in a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And I've been pretty quiet on my channel. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and I was thinking that today, if you actually saw the announcement, maybe you didn't, I was planning on letting you guys know what I've been doing and what the so-called reset is all about. My life seems to be all about resets. You see a drawing here behind me. I'm going to explain that in a sec. It's something I used for my one of my previous YouTube videos. Anyhow, so I've been here on YouTube for a year and a half now, and it's been extremely rewarding in many ways. It's been tough as well. Why did I start? For those of you who haven't talked to me in the past, so I started to document my life, leave a legacy for my kids, and I guess wanted to build this new, call it coaching or life architect business, whatever you want to call it. I started talking about the stuff that was really close to my heart, which is obviously a good starting point, I think, still, which was business and mindset stuff. And then I noticed that one of my videos went viral. It got like 250,000 views. I also put a little bit of marketing money behind it. And most of my subscribers, like 90%, came from that one video. And when I've been doing these lives, and when I look at the analytics, it seems that most of my subscribers are 20 plus, males between 20 and 30. Hey bro, and how's it going? Happy Sunday. And then I realized that, look, that's not really my avatar. That's not really my target audience. So who's my target audience? Well, I'm 49 myself. So if at this point you want to tune out, that's fine. I understand that completely. So I really want to target, really want to help people in their 40s, when I talk about health, wealth, happiness. So basically work, relationships, and body. I've been training for 30 plus years. I've done several resets in my life. Started from scratch as an entrepreneur. Lived in many countries and done that. So I felt that I would owe it to myself to pass on these learnings. And that's really why I started. But then, like I said, along the way, I started, I guess, getting a little sidetracked with my vanity metrics. So I started staring at the numbers more than I looked at my target audience, which is, understandable. I guess it happens to everybody. And now, in true honesty, I haven't posted a new video in a week and a half, roughly. I took this time to really fine-tune my message and then work behind the scenes to get my website right, get my YouTube channel description right. It's not finalized, by the way, yet. And in the future, I'm planning on talking more about the stuff for male who are 40 plus, how to leave a bad relationship, how to fix your business or your work, or how to work on your body. Because one of my things in life, which is something that I wanted to talk about today, is this here, if you see it. So regret is the enemy. This was supposed to be horizontal, by the way, today, but it started vertical, so I was so dumb that I wasn't able to figure out before going live how to turn the phone, but now I know because of ChatGPT. So anyhow, throughout my whole life, I've always been the guy who's been fearless to a certain extent when it comes to just pushing forward regardless of the pain or fear and whatnot. And this is really how I look at it, like, myself. We seem to be, as people, we always underestimate regret and we overestimate pain. Pain is always short term, that's fear. Fear dictates, dominates, determines what we do because of other people's opinions or not knowing what's going to happen or whatnot. But I think in life, the true price tag is this here. It's the regret down the road. And that's what I wanted to kind of announce today, that my future message is all about helping people, maybe males in their 40s or whatever. I don't really care about the age group, but it seems that my message best resonates with those types of people. How to live life without regrets, because we oftentimes don't have the courage to leave a relationship or start a business or change jobs or do whatever because of this thing here. And pain is always temporary. It's short term, but regret lasts forever. So that's kind of the way I look at it. But in today's live, I was also planning on giving you a couple of stories from my past as far as how I have done this and what tools I use to overcome fear. Let's see if there's any comments here. Hey, bro. I'm not 40, I'm 22 from Taiwan. I'm studying for bachelor's degree. Do you have any simple advice on making money while studying? Let me see. Bro, I appreciate your message even though your YouTube hasn't popped off, okay? So what I would say is that making money. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you a small lecture, and this is how I look at it. Life rewards you on your strengths, but school and your early childhood and probably those years when you're a teenager, especially school, is testing you on your weaknesses. So when you go to school, if you think about it, so if you are a grade C level math student at school, but you have a grade A in English, most of the time, or most likely, your teachers are gonna tell you about how you should improve your math score from maybe D to C or C to B so that you become better at that. And they're like, yeah, you're already good enough in English. What I'm trying to tell you is this. So try to understand, this is the balance of the conversation about strengths and weaknesses. I'm not really a big fan of that. I look at them as character traits. So there's always pros and cons. My character trait X might serve me really well with these and these people in these types of situations, but not really well somewhere else. So I would argue that if you look at all the outsized returns in life as far as how to make money or how to get more free time or how to get happy or whatever your goal in life is. Those outsized returns come when you can monetize, when you can utilize, when you can tap into your true superpowers, okay? So if you had 10,000 hours or 10,000 steps or iterations to spend on something, would you rather spend those 10,000 hours or steps, if you will, when it comes to improving your math grade from D to C or going from A to A plus? I would argue that as long as you don't have any real roadblocks or showstoppers and having a D or C level math capability, it's not one of those. So try to invest all of the extra effort into those areas of life where you are super interested, where you're already good, so that you can become really, really excellent at that. So that becomes a superpower, and that's how you can monetize that. So that would be a starting point. So look at your skill set and try to get really good at it, and then identify a problem in the marketplace and then solve that. And if I were young, or if I started a business, I would basically look at what wealthy people need. Wealthy people always pay for time and convenience. So identify a cohort, or a target group of people, and most likely it would be beneficial for you to look at those who make more money because they value, like I said, time and convenience. So then see what kind of problems do they have and how can I make their lives easier and faster and more convenient, and then offer that. So try to do a lot of good for a small number of people compared to very little good for a huge number of people, because that's how you would get your outsized returns. But there is no one answer to start trading cryptos or investing in real estate or gold, because it all depends on what you're good at and what you're passionate about. That's what I would tell you, basically. But anyhow, so coming back to this topic that I wanted to talk about today, why is resetting, why is starting from scratch so hard for people? And why am I so passionate about it? I think one of my superpowers in life has been that I've always been able to talk to myself, to my inner gut really well, meaning my intuition has always been my compass or my guiding principle in life. When I was young, my first real reset came when I was 19 years old, when I moved to the States, or the United States, for the first time. I had never been to the country. I didn't really speak the language. All I had was a green card in my back pocket, which I won in a lottery. So I was willing to leave everything behind, not knowing anybody, not having any money, not knowing how the system worked. But I just had this really burning feeling that if I didn't go now, I would regret it at the end of the day. I had no idea what no regrets at 90 principle would mean, which is something I launched. Or I didn't even know how to highlight that or pinpoint that so-called desire. But all I knew was that I just had to do something, because I felt like I was kind of not able to breathe, because I felt that I was missing out on so many things if I just stayed in one place, in one country, in one continent, and not be able to see all the people. I think back then we had 5 or 6 billion people on this planet. Now we have 8. So the opportunities are even more unlimited, so to say, if that's even a word. So that's how I first really reset my mind. So I have kind of like a track. I'm 49 now, by the way. So for those of you who don't know me. So it was 31 years ago. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 30 years ago, exactly. Yeah, 19 versus 49. So that was the first time when I really kind of like, well, I guess started from scratch or reset my life. Then the second time came when I left corporate. Well, I had then moved back to Europe and then moved to Germany. And then from Germany, me and my ex-wife, before our first child was born, we moved back to the States. So then I left corporate after a 10-year career, and I literally started from scratch. I was like, okay, that's it. Instead of pursuing another job and trying to climb the corporate ladder, I started from scratch. I started doing real estate. I had not done it before full time. I had invested in some rentals with my brother back in Europe, but in the US, I was like, okay, I got to do something for myself. And that was my kind of like second quote unquote reset. Then fast forward 5 or 6 years, the family decided to move back to Europe again. And I was like, at first against that, even though my ex-wife, regards to her, we are great friends, she wanted it. I was like, okay, this is really a bad idea, because do you understand what it means professionally? I would need to, again, start from scratch, literally not knowing anybody again, no contacts, and literally build something, because working for somebody else was not an option for me. So that was my third time. So then, and I took pride in the fact that I was able to pull it off, and that was one of the reasons why I agreed with the move plan, because I was like, okay, I want to test myself. I want to see how good I truly am, because again, I asked myself, what are the things I'm going to regret down the road? Because this price tag here, you know, if this is your timeline, the difference is huge. I think that's the true cost at the end of the day. When you're out of time, you're about to punch a ticket, you need to understand what are the things I need to do so that I'm never in a position at the age of 60, 70, 80, or 90 where I regret stuff. And that signal was so clear in my case that I had to start again from scratch. Okay. Then a couple of years after that, our marriage ended. So that was another reset. And then 3.5 years ago, I had a long, very up and down type of I would say traumatic relationship. And then I had to walk away from that. And that might sound like a trivial thing, but to me, it was one of the biggest things in my life where I kind of reset the whole thing again. And now 1.5 years ago, when I kind of intentionally wanted to scale down my real estate business and then start this coaching, or whatever you call this mindset stuff, business coaching thing from scratch. So these are the things that have really defined me. And this has been my journey of 30 years. And if you wonder why I think the story might resonate with somebody who's maybe in his 40s or maybe 30s or maybe even 20s, that's fine. But, and then in addition to that, and I'm not bragging about myself, I'm just stating the facts. There's plenty of turmoil. There are plenty of setbacks and mistakes, almost losing all my money, making some, again, going from one hardship to another, and then being able to train for 30 plus years alongside the whole thing. So this is the foundation, this is the building blocks that I'm basing my stuff on. And I actually like talking to people here. So if I can help somebody, it really makes me happy. So appreciate your message, even though your YouTube hasn't, oh, that was the previous one. Pro, solid advice, I screen recorded it, thanks. Okay, no worries, you're welcome. Hope it helps. But it really, I mean, this is the thing when you're young, so think about it. I mean, older people too. There's just so much noise in your life that it really boils down to 2 steps. The step number 1 is the question to yourself, do I know what I need to know? And knowing what to want is really this first step. So it's like, not what my brother wants, not what my parents tell me to do. I mean, if my family is full of lawyers, it doesn't mean that I need to become one. Knowing what to want is the first step. What applies to me? Okay, what is important to me? Not what's important to the society. Forget that, that's all bullshit, that's noise. That's the 90%. And your job is to block 90% and apply maybe 10%. That's really hard, by the way. And when you're young, it's harder. It's hard for us 40-year-olds, you know what I mean? Especially people at this age. We might be in a relationship that has sucked for fucking 10, 15 years. You might have 2 kids. Of course, you'll love your kids to death, but the relationship is over. You might be in a job that's not optimal for you anymore, but you don't have really have the courage to start a business. So younger people always think that the older ones are kind of like have more experience and they would have a clue as far as what to do. But I believe it's the same no matter how old you are. If you're 15, you're 25 or 55, you're all clueless. Everybody's clueless. And that's normal. Every day you wake up and then you just try to figure out what to do. And that's why that first question, knowing what to want, what applies to me, is super, super important. And then once you're clear on that, crystal clear, then getting it actually is so much easier. But if you're 22, forget what everybody tells you. I hope you went to school or you're in college because you want it and you are interested and passionate about the topic that you're studying. But keep always in mind that whatever these people teach you at school, it's most likely the same 90-10 principle. So ignore, block 90%, and then just collect bits and pieces from everywhere. And that's how you put your own little puzzle together. with these bits and pieces, not automatically copying anybody's information, because it doesn't mean that it applies to you directly. It doesn't mean that if your mom and dad want you to be a lawyer, that you have to become one. That's the social pressure. I mean, countries are different, cultures are different, but still, if we want to live a life without zero regrets, there's no other option. This year has been professionally one of the hardest for me, for the record. And I'm not here to kind of like tell you how much money I have and whatnot. I'm okay, but professionally, this has been the hardest year because I'm dealing with two things. I'm ramping down an existing business intentionally, which means that I'm dealing with a lot of liabilities, a lot of warranty issues. I mean, I've been in the construction business, in the real estate development business. And because of the latest downturn and slump we had, recession, quote unquote recession in real estate here, values, my general contractor went bankrupt. And some of my subcontractors also went bankrupt. So me being the builder who hired those, I'm on the hook for a lot of these warranty issues and whatnot. So I'm managing a period where over the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been basically being the cost center for all these mistakes that happen in the value chain. Since I'm the last guy standing, I need to be handing out checks like this. And that's mentally really hard when you go through, you know, maybe a lawsuit here, maybe a warranty issue here. And then you at the same time try to reset your mind and say, okay, well, but I need to concentrate all my effort and all my energy on building my new business. So balancing between the two has made this year really one of the hardest for me. So, but it's okay. I mean, that's, it's not supposed to be easy because I think that's how we learn and that's how we understand what doesn't work and what works. So it's okay. Anyhow, this is supposed to be horizontal, but since I'm not very tech savvy, I wasn't able to rotate the phone. Next time I know, when I have the preview, I have to have the phone this way, positioned horizontally, and then start recording. But anyhow, so that's the graph. I just wanted to talk about that, introduce the reset to you guys and say that, well, I don't know, I don't think anybody missed me, but just said that, you know, I'm back, I'm here after a week and a half of no videos. It's just been trying to fine tune the message and see, well, hopefully might resonate better with my audience because there's been a mismatch with the audience and my videos. What else is going on? That was really the reset part, the so-called pivot, introducing that, and then that graph, I hope everybody understands what I mean by that. So in a nutshell, do not overestimate pain and fear like everybody else. Focus on regret. You should kind of reverse the whole thinking model, is my point. If you're dealing with a lot of pain right now, I mean, you go through adversity, ask yourself, when you have a hard time, because you're overwhelmed, you have a hard time understanding what's relevant, what's not. Okay, what do I do? You wake up in the morning and there are like 25 things on your mind. You're like, okay, what the fuck should I be doing today? Then the solution, usually, at least in my case, is that I shorten the time cycle. I ask myself, okay, instead of worrying about next week and tomorrow, easier said than done, I know, I only focus on today. I'm like, okay, what moves the ball forward today? The most. Out of all of these 24 items on my plate, all of them seem to be burning. Then I pick one or two. Those are the things I do today. Those are the things I focus on. Everything else becomes noise. And then I just say no. I learn how to say no to that stuff. And then my only goal is to stay alive, so to say, not literally, but you know, like mentally. Be able to, I'm breathing this morning, I woke up. My goal is to be the same way at the end of the day. I just survive one day. Like if you're an athlete, let's say, maybe this resonates. I mean, let's say 2 examples, you're a marathon runner or you're a long distance runner, okay? So you do your 20K run or even your marathon, 42 point what kilometers, 42.7, right? So you're on mile 15 and you out of gas completely. You're like, fuck, I can't finish this thing. What do? Do you start worrying about mile 18 or 22? No. You're just gonna worry about making it the next corner. So you shorten your distance. When you run uphill, you know, you don't look at the top of the hill, which could be, I don't know, half a mile away. You just look at like 6 feet away. So you shorten the time distance. You break it down into bits and pieces. What's the smallest step I can take that I can identify and take? Same way, let's say you're weightlifting. If you're a weightlifter, you're squatting at the gym and you're getting ready for a hard set. Let's say you have, I don't know, 225 pounds on the bar. So 2 plates on each side. And like, okay, I can probably do 5 reps. And you know, after the second rep, you're like, fuck, this feels heavy. What do? Do you start worrying about next week's leg workout? Or rep 6? No, you just worry about rep 3, then 1 at a time. This is really the principle, I think. Not I think, I know it works. But, and that's how you overcome pain. That was the whole point, in my opinion. And that's how you focus on regret. So 95% of the time, you should be living in a 1-day cycle. Shorten the thing if things, you know, go south, or if there's a lot of adversity in your life. And then the remaining 5% is about what's that signal for, you know, the future. What are the things I need to do today so that I stay on the right track, so that I have no regrets down the road? Because this regret here is a true price tag, not the pain today. Why listen to me? I don't know. Well, I've done it a few times. Anyhow, what else is going on? How is your weekend going? Did you, by the way, know that, I mean, any of you, are you any of you guys doing lives on your channel, if you're YouTubers yourself? Did you know that horizontal versus vertical thing, that you have to have the camera positioned in a certain way before you start the thing, and otherwise it's locked? I did not know that. Plenty of things I don't know. Yeah, next week, tomorrow, I'm trying to get ready for a new video, and then, thank you. Thank you. What was I saying? Yeah, after this, I'm gonna go to the gym with my daughter, not to train myself. I trained yesterday, today's a day off. I'm gonna go again tomorrow, but she had knee surgery this summer. She's a gymnast and she's going through rehab still, and I've been her quote-unquote personal trainer. No, it's not. Oh, you mean on the page here? Oh yeah, fuck, man. I gotta go this way, right? Now? They are recorded automatically. They are stored. You know? They're on my channel. So if you go, there's different tabs. There's the long videos, the shorts, and then the lives. They all recorded there. Did you see the graph now? Sorry. I should have mentioned that before. All right? Does it make sense now? So the price tag here. So you're here right now, and it seems like it's a huge difference, but you know, as time goes by, this is the true gap here. And the true price tag is this. Right? Does it make sense? Graph is good. Yeah, and time is here. This is time. Anyhow, just passionate about that stuff. Yeah, call me crazy, but it is what it is. I just like talking about that. Just like talking about that. There are a lot of my friends, they talk to me about their personal struggle, relationships lately, and this is the exact same thing we talk about. You know, if somebody asks you, okay, well, should I stay in this relationship or should I go or should I leave? I was like, that would be my first question. Okay, so is that going to be something? Ask yourself, if I don't go now, am I going to regret that for the rest of my life? And if the answer is yes, if there's going to be regret at 90, then just the best time was yesterday. The right time is right now. Or the right time was yesterday. The best time is today because yesterday is gone. To actually put it that way. That's how I see it. Anybody else there active besides Willis? Did you say you were in Taipei? Or did you just say Taiwan? Let me see here. Oh, you're from Taiwan, yeah. I've been to Taipei several times. Several times. I used to, when I had a corporate job, I traveled to China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Korea, quite a bit. Actually, once a month. When I lived in San Diego, out of LA. Once a month, on Sunday, just hopped on a plane and then arrived Tuesday morning after 13, 14-hour flight, and then flying back Thursday, Friday night. Yep, I like Taipei. Hong Kong is one of my favorite cities in Asia. What else are we going to talk about? Today was about reset. Okay, so I'm a professional resetter. Is that a word? Person who starts from scratch. I did another one, a mini reset right now with my YouTube channel. For those of you who weren't here in the beginning, just a quick recap. So I started creating content and I noticed that was a year and a half ago. And I noticed that one of my videos, a pretty generic productivity video about focus versus discipline, went viral, and then 90% of my 30,000 subscribers really came from that one video. And then it started getting skewed. So I guess my content was really, and the lives I did attracted a younger audience, whereas my really core message, my key avatar is a guy in his 40s really, who either struggles with his business. I've started as a full-time entrepreneur 3 times from scratch, intentionally, not because I, went belly up, but I wanted to do it, do a different business in completely in a different country or in a different industry or whatnot. And so I did a mini reset with my content a week and a half ago. But when I started a year and a half ago, I started talking about like all kinds of stuff. So business, a little bit of mindset, a little bit of real estate. And then after that, I separated my real estate into a different channel. And then I noticed that my views were really, my metrics were super bad. I mean, like literally super bad. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I did a deep dive together with AI and with somebody else, and we just understood that there's like, my audience was, most of them were dead because they just came from that one video and they were not really following me anymore. So I contemplated whether, actually it was on the table for me to like completely scrap my old channel. The reason why I kept this channel and decided to pivot and start retraining the algorithm and the audience about, talking about these topics for men 40 plus was that I felt that my ability to do lives was very important to me because I enjoy this. I think this is one of my favorite ways to deliver a message. So had I started from scratch, I would have needed to wait until I have 1,000 subscribers again to start doing these. And then, I guess that was really the reason. And then, like I said, I need to do a better job in defining the audience, their needs with my videos. But that's the thing. Mostly worse on my long form, a lot worse. My shorts, some of them did actually, relatively well, but better compared to my longs. Well, thanks. Good to hear that you learned a lot. So you can subscribe even though you're 22. I don't mind. Even though most likely I won't be, you won't be my client. Most of my clients are already in their 40s. The guys who pay for my services, but I don't mind. Of course, reach out if you want anything. I'm always here. I mean, we can hop on a call one-on-one too if you think there's anything useful. I don't mind it. I won't work for free, but I mean, I'll do a 30-minute consultation with you if you want. I post gaming shorts and average 1,000 views per short, but later when I posted long form, they would get over 20 views per video. I later researched and found out that shorts affect long. I wouldn't be too worried about it. Yeah, I mean, who am I to say? But I've done a lot of research on this, and you can do shorts that are independent from your longs. I think you can do shorts in 3 different ways. You can do them completely independent, separate from your long content, and then you can tease your upcoming longs with your shorts, and then you can have post-produced shorts after your longs. That's how I look at it. I have no idea which one of those 3 is the most effective way or strategy, method for that, but that's how I look at it. But I think most of the time the reason, I mean, okay, so here's the key question that I asked myself, okay? So when I post a video and it sucks, I'm like, okay, am I early or am I delusional? Because being early is a real thing. You can have 0 progress, almost 0 vanity metrics on year 4, and then you quit, and then year 5 would have been your year when you break through. So that's the thing about being early, right? Or are you delusional? Am I delusional? Am I good enough? That's the real question. Do I have what it takes to really be, I don't know what the goal is, say, top 5%, top 2%, top 1% producer in my niche and get my fair share of that market, meaning be able to pay bills and make some money maybe, and obviously keep my clients happy or add value in their life, if you will. That's the key question. Am I early or am I delusional? And that's super hard when you are early in the process, when usually your number 1 goal is to get a lot better. That's why, I mean, I've made a lot of videos, even long form. I think over the last year and a half, I think I've made like 186 long videos. I think that's quite a bit. That's one in every, 3 to 4 days on average maybe. But so you need to do a lot of volume, in my opinion, early on to get better. That's the number 1 goal. So you collect data. You're in the data acquisition business in the beginning so that you know what works. Okay, what is it that my audience wants from me? And then if your content changes and then you have 1 or 2 videos that went viral, then you might actually start attracting the wrong type of an audience or person to be your follower or subscriber, which happened to me. And then that gets interesting when you kind of start staring at the vanity metrics too much. And then you're like, okay, why the fuck aren't my views or my likes or my CTR, my engagement scores better than what they are? It could be that there's a huge mismatch, you know? But do you understand if there's a mismatch? I mean, I guess my point is that, so the reason why you don't have views or engagement is that because you suck or I suck, or because there's a mismatch with my content and my audience. That's really hard to find out, you know? I wouldn't be too worried about shorts messing up your longs. That most likely is not the reason. I always look myself in the mirror and say, okay, if my content is good enough and it's targeted the right way, it will find its audience. There's no question about it. It will happen. So, I mean, okay, so look at it this way. So, using myself as an example, over the last 18 months, okay, I've tried a lot of stuff. Some of that stuff has worked. Most of it hasn't, okay? So still, am I early or am I delusional? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But you know what? There's no point for me to worry about that too much. Why? Because in a long enough time horizon, I always get what I deserve. There is no luck involved, okay? If my results suck in a matter of 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, zoom out, because you will always get what you deserve when it comes to 5 years or 10 years of your lifetime. So if I'm good enough, I will always get what I deserve. There's no luck involved, nothing. Let's say if you play, you're a professional athlete, you play tennis. Yeah, in one tennis match, a luck might play a major role in the end result of that match. What do you think about in one season? No, doesn't make a difference. It will even itself out. So you always get what you deserve if you're good enough. If you're talented, if you put in the hours, you get better, you get what you deserve. It has nothing to do with shorts impacting longs or vice versa. If the shorts are better than longs, that's why they get more views. All the answers are always in the mirror, always. I had some notes. I didn't even look at them. Pivot to your story. Open with the curve, this thing here. Which thing? This thing here. That's the thing that was the bread and butter of my video. This is the only visual I need. I guess that's right. Pain of change versus regret of inaction. The crossover point is where most men live. Then pivot to your story. I've hit this 3 times, actually more. I highlighted, I think 5 or 6. Corporate exit, building businesses, the pivot of this channel. Each time, short-term pain, 0 long-term regret. Yep. What else, guys? I've made a change, which one of them is that vanity metrics matter a lot less. I'm going to be brutally honest about who this is for, who this is not for, and I don't care well, let's put it this way. It's much better for me to get 10 people to watch my lives or my videos who are truly interested and engaged than 100 or 1,000 people who are not really my target audience. So it's not gonna matter. But I need to clean up my office a little bit. Had some printer problems today too. There's always something. It's all good. In a week and a half, I'm actually gonna go to Spain for a month. Trying to spend as much time elsewhere in the winter as possible. This year I was thinking of doing, well, this year, before Christmas, this winter season is what I should have said. I'm gonna spend a week in Spain now, starting next week's Friday, and then I'm thinking of doing another another month, a month and a half after Christmas. I don't know where I'm gonna go yet, but we'll see. Let's see how this first month-long trip goes. The past 3 or 4 winters, I've been kind of like traveling a lot all the time. So like a week here, another week there, and it's been very expensive and kind of messes up my schedule. So this year I was thinking of doing it differently. Of course, my kids are here, but they are older, so they don't really need me on a day-to-day basis, but that's really mentally the biggest roadblock for me. Have this constant dialogue is what I'm saying with myself about how much I'm entitled to do those types of things that make me happy. And this is interesting, because this would be the type of advice I would give to somebody else who approached me with the same topic. I was like, okay, did you understand, did you remember, or do you remember that in order for you to be the best possible dad to your kids, if that's one of your goals, which by the way is, you need to be 100% happy and satisfied and fulfilled yourself. It's like going on an airplane. What do they tell you? If there's an emergency type situation and the oxygen masks, they drop those down. So what do you do first? What are you supposed to do? You have an infant next to you, your own mask, and then the guy next to you or your child next to you. It's the same thing. Yeah, I'm not selfish, but it's still hard when you're like so used to being there almost every day and whatnot. So, but it doesn't mean that I can't talk to them every day. It's me pumping my own tires, saying that I'm allowed. Any other comments, questions? I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm going to see what I can put together tomorrow. I'm going to start doing these live. I'm going to announce these lives, schedule them beforehand, more in the future. I don't know what the schedule is going to be like. Maybe Sunday around this time, and then say Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. but probably 3 times a week, I'm thinking. I'm gonna do them this way next time. This was a mistake, it doesn't matter, but I think there's gonna be it's gonna be interesting because vertical lives show up, excuse me, in the shorts feed, right? I don't know if that's how you guys found it live as well. But if it's this way, I don't know where you can find it. Maybe it's not on mobile at all. Maybe it's a desktop thing. I don't know, but I want to see if there's a different type of reaction. There's probably going to be less people, which is fine, but I just want to do it. LK has retracted a few messages. It's fine. What else is going on? Well, if not, then I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna go home, drive home, and pick up my daughter, and then we go train. Or she's gonna train. Just gonna be there for support. Just gonna be there for support. What does LK mean? Do you refer to the person, the username, or does LK stand for something? I don't know. See, I have this huge pimple on my nose. Man, it hurts. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. Oh, that sucks. Would have loved to help if I can help. Thanks for letting me know. Well, LK, if you're still there, I mean, reach out. I mean, of course, who am I to say I can help you? But I'm more than happy to try if I can. Humble. I don't know. I mean, who am I to say that I can help people? But I still think I can. And you should treat my advice the same way I told you to treat everybody else's advice. Block 90% and see what 10% applies. Maybe 80% applies, I don't know, but as a rule of thumb, you know, question everything in a healthy way. That's it. Okay, so we don't hear back from LK, or we didn't hear back from him. That's a bummer. That's okay. I would have liked to try to help if there's anything I can do. But anyhow, you can always reach out. There's an email address in my channel description, I'm sure. You can find me on Instagram as well, you know, if you want. But I appreciate the comments. This was actually better than I expected, more, even though I messed up with the format, vertical versus horizontal. You live and learn, that's okay. And like I said, these are always recorded. So by the way, you can find all my previous lives too. I've done a lot of workout lives. I've been training and then having conversations with people, but anyhow, appreciate the opportunity again. I'm back. I'm going to be more active now going forward. Nice talking to you as well, Willis. I appreciate all the feedback, the questions. Thank you. Good luck to you in your studies, and focus on those strengths. Put those 10,000, those next 10,000 hours into going from grade A to grade A+. And that's how you monetize your skills, and understanding that wealthy people, they always pay for time and convenience. Okay. Cheers. Okay. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.